It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Kent State University's 12th president, Dr. Beverly Warren. President Warren is a nationally renowned teacher, researcher, and administrator. She holds a master's degree from Southern Illinois University and 2 doctorates, an EDD in Administration of Higher Education from the University of Alabama, and a PhD in Exercise Physiology from Auburn University. Displaying she clearly understands and certainly appreciates the graduate student experience that you're embarking on. President Warren is a North Carolina native and has spent the last 14 years at Virginia Commonwealth, where she started as a professor, served as dean of the School of Education, and most recently served as provost and senior vice president. She joined us last July, so she's just over a year into her new role. I was so pleased when Dr. Warren confirmed that she'd be able to speak with you this morning, and I'm certain you'll enjoy hearing from her. At this time, please join me in welcoming President Beverly Warren. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for that. Let's all try together. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Much, much better. It is such a great pleasure to be standing here looking out at you. Nearly 1,000 of you registered for this event, and I am so pleased to see you here. It's a step in the right direction. You didn't have to come to orientation, right? You chose to come to orientation thinking you might learn a thing or two, so you are overachievers, as I already knew you were. It is wonderful to see also the great diversity. I truly wish you were standing here looking out at yourselves. Yesterday, I had the distinct pleasure of having a photo made with our international students, 500 of them on the steps of the Mack Center. What you need to know is that there are almost as many international students among your midst as there are domestic students. What a wonderful combination of ways to interact, meaning that you're going to learn a lot more than just more in-depth information in your own discipline, your own course of study. Of course, that's important. But what's also important is being able to work in teams. How many of you are familiar with the term team science? Well, you will be after today. So when you think about the greatest challenges we face as a world, and the way that we must work to resolve those challenges, they don't happen in isolation, and they don't become resolved with singular solutions. And so team science means that you bring to bear on one particular grand challenge all of the disparate disciplines that might contribute to the resolutions of those challenges. Team science happens in history. Team science happens in English, as well as the biological sciences and many of the hard sciences where you might be familiar with that term. But the world today is about teams. And I think part of graduate study is really learning that mix of how you become very focused individually in a particular, very narrow field of study that becomes your own. But then how do you share that broadly through a team approach to making sure that we, as Kent State graduates, are able to contribute to the resolution of those grand challenges. There are people among you today that are going to be known nationally in your near future. And we can't be more excited about that. And I wanted to share just a little bit of information about the journey of Kent State University. We are large. We are almost 42,000 students in size. We have 8 campuses throughout Northeast Ohio. So if you look at kind of the 4 corners of Ohio, actually Kent State University anchors the Northeast region of our state. But we anchor more than that because of the many, many contributions made by the faculty you came here to Kent State University to make sure you had the opportunity to study with them and to conduct research along beside them. How many of you actually did come because there's one faculty member here that really sparked your interest and you want to continue to study with that person? Yeah, it's a good third of you. That is what graduate study is all about, is this community of scholars that continue to be a large university of learners. And what we so enjoy is that you join along beside us, and we learn from you, and you learn from us. Because graduate study is more about an apprenticeship model of really learning from some of the brightest and best scholars and researchers in the world. And that's how you become the future best scholar and researcher in the world in your discipline and field of study. So take advantage of that. And that means you, of course, know you're here for more than a collection of credit hours. You know, as I talk to undergraduate students, they're on the journey to collect 120 credit hours and cash in on a baccalaureate degree. You're on a journey to be a knowledge creator. And that means that journey isn't governed by credit hours. It's governed by your blood, sweat, and tears of being a great, great student. Inside, outside the classroom, you heard Dean Tankersley talking about make sure you read, make sure that you're hungry for knowledge, make sure that you go the step beyond, because that truly is what graduate study is about. And I truly need your help. We're a large university with a large undergraduate population. But what I'm seeing and what I'm invested in for the future of Kent State University is really a stronger focus in lifting up graduate studies. Because when you think about how Kent State University can best contribute to those grand challenges in the world, we do that by recruiting you. And we do that by working together and by your becoming a graduate that just keeps the ripple and the cycle going of this hunger and thirst for knowledge. But what I hope you also are thinking about is really being grounded in giving back. How do you use your thirst for knowledge? How do you use the fact that you're going to be one of those 5%, 1% of individuals with graduate degrees? How do you use that for the greater good of the world? And that's what Kent State, I think, is all about. I talk about students first a lot. Many people think that students first is focused on undergraduates. Well, it's not. You're students, and you're first. But I need your partnership. How can we improve your kind of study that is going to actually advance Kent State to much greater national recognition because of you? What ideas do you have? You know, when you go to graduate school, not only are you going to transition from knowledge consumers to knowledge creators, you're going to engage side by side in new and exciting new knowledge, new ideas, new novel ways of creating, new ways of stimulating our thinking. And then sharing that knowledge is a part of your responsibility. I want to see Dean Tankersley, Dr. McAnulty, I want to see a record graduate student research symposium. Every student sitting here, I want you to start thinking now. What is that new knowledge you're going to share at the graduate research symposium? And then take that and share it at a national meeting. And then take that and write an article in a discipline and in a journal in your field of study. And then it becomes like magic. It's like something, a thirst you cannot quench. And that's what I want to see. And how can we help you get there? How can we make sure that as you share that knowledge, that you're also positioning yourself to go on to do great work, whether that's in another university or a not-for-profit, or you're going to build your own business and you have startup ideas. You're going to be entrepreneurs and you're going to be leaders, and how can we help you? we have a ways to go in terms of how we lift up graduate study and make it an awesome experience. So there are 1,000 of you here. My Twitter handle is @PresBWarren. Let me hear from you. My email is beverlywarren@kent.edu. Let me hear from you. We're actually starting a cricket club sport because of an idea that was generated by graduate students. Graduate student was here from India, I believe, and said, I so miss cricket. I so miss my home country. Could there be something that could help remind me of my home country? So cricket, here we come. So how many other ideas might you have that begin to develop this community of scholars and learners, ways that you work together in and outside of the classroom, ways that we can lift up graduate studies and put you in front of opportunities you never even imagined? So that's a two-way street with us. I'm here. I'm open to ideas. We have some resources. We bought the cricket bats or whatever, so we can make some things happen. How do we help you get out into your field? Let us know, because that's important to me. There are 1,000 of you here. You're stronger than you've ever been before at Kent State University. So let's hear those voices. Let's hear you lift those voices up for graduate study at Kent State University. And I hope what you find, I'm only in my sophomore year, so you have a few years on me. But in my sophomore year, I have found such great warmth and welcoming in my freshman year at Kent State. And I know you're going to experience that in a first year here in graduate study. How many of you are from the Midwest? Okay, that's about half of you. So let me see. How many of you not from the Midwest? This is amazing. What you're going to discover is there is a thing called Midwest nice. It was amazing. I discovered it like from day one. Midwest nice, Ohio warm, and Kent State strong. It doesn't get any better than that. So welcome to the warmth. Remember that I said that in February. Welcome to the warmth of Northeast Ohio. And we hope that while the snow rages outside, you continue to feel the warmth of this great community and our great pride and our great expectations for you and our gratitude that you chose Kent State University, and we won't let you down. So let's partner together. I can't wait for the semester to start. I wish you all the best. And believe me, I'm coming back for the Graduate Research Symposium. I'm going to find out how you developed your ideas over this academic year. Best wishes to you. I know you're going to do great.